Oh,
the archway.
yeah.
crack,
what about them?
Do you want me to present like the PowerPoint?
Oh, it doesn't matter. I don't have a way to project it right now without taking out everything. I know these guys have seen it.
You've seen it, yep.
So
Yep, I think we're okay on that. Yep, I think so. Tim Nolan, he should, but I'm not certain that he is. He sent me-
Town council meeting.
Yeah, so he said,
Right into executive stuff.
yeah.
well, he's in village,
He's only
so
village, yeah.
it shouldn't
So I-
affect him.
He kind of sounded like he was signing off for the day when he sent me the last text, which was, check your email. Because of the note that came from
Yep.
the nerd.
Alright, so I have this going. I'm just gonna let it record. I don't care that much.
How you doing today, Paul?
Good, how are you?
Let's see.
Thanks.
Participants. There's no one online yet, just so everybody knows.
But you see the Gray building is for sale.
Yes.
Yes.
So he's gonna,
He's gonna stay there.
so he'll be a renter then?
He's been a renter the whole time.
Oh, yes, you're right, yeah. No,
Long-term lease, they call it.
I have that.
Yeah, 'cause people
Don't I
think,
have the
people are thinking he's
PowerPoint?
older
too? Do you
than.
have the
Yeah,
PowerPoint that
no,
comes through the mail?
Yeah, they were part of the meeting minutes from,
Oh,
don't think it was for 222. It might have been though, 222. Should have been part of the meeting minutes. They are-
22, yeah, there you go.
Oh, well, they tried,
start high, don't you?
yeah.
Over the 30.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good price tag on the old fire station and also on Gray and Gray too.
Mhm. It's the same realtor. Yeah.
Hey, Tim.
There's the answer.
Okay, so I have
Think it's
that
Zanzibar.
up. Okay, Chris is not here. Has anybody heard from him?
I haven't either way, no.
Okay, so I'll put him down as absent for now. Chris Rochamel. The other member of the board.
I actually need a drink of water.
So they're 5 members. Right?
4 at this time. Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi,
Jenny Gerard.
I'm Kara McLucky, MCLUCKIE. Kara, Kara, last name is McLucky, MCLUCKIE. Yeah.
So you said Gary will be here eventually.
I hope so.
I'm listening. I'm listing him as present. That way I can always delete him if he doesn't show up.
This one didn't have.
What are you looking for?
Still looking for the, I'd like the picture of the bike rack.
Yeah, it's right here. So here is the bike rack. It's on the 222 minutes. It's way down. It's page, I don't know. Page something. I don't know. It's way, you have to scroll way through. And then the arch is right here.
Yep, that's good.
And that's the zoomed in. It's the arch is the last 2 pages. 3 pages of.
Call the meeting. in Just a moment here.
There's one other way you can look it up too, if you struggle
Okay,
with the email, I can tell you.
Lane Arch, here it is. Okay. Ooh, there we go.
222.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we'll use your pictures.
Okay.
Yep, for that. So I would call this meeting to order for, well, this isn't quite 5:30 anymore.
5:35.
A little tardy on that. So our first order of business is to have this public hearing about the archway that's planned for going over Prentice Lane as a decoration and sort of a beginning to a arts concept on the main street. The idea is to have it be something that's going to attract people's attention. And they'll say, oh, look at that. I wonder what's down here. And there may be outdoor art exhibits and that sort of thing. It comes from the economic developers. I really started this idea to bring it up and sort of, decorate Main Street in some way. And TAUNY is taking the lead in the design. So Joshua Vink here is the executive director, I think is the right term for TAUNY. And they've contracted with a artist to do this sort of thing, and who does a lot of them, and has done several of them. So let's talk about the archway first. And Joshua, if you could make a short presentation to all of us, and give the just a short presentation, a description. You don't have to
Just
show
talk
pictures.
about it.
Just let it show. Yes. The idea being that, well, for example, we want to know who really owns it when it's all done, who's going to own it and be responsible for it, and who's paying for it to be built. And then the third part is the structural strength.
Yes. So there is a history of this idea for Prentice Lane and perhaps having an archway that we picked up on and have been working with economic development as a sort of seed idea. And so really the idea is around building an opportunity for folks to congregate and come together around a public art piece which will capture and represent Canton and the North Country. So as you can see from the designs, there are many sort of analogous metaphors of the natural land, of the river, of the people, the activities, live, work, and play here in Canton that's represented in this beautiful decorative arch. James Gonzalez is a professional metal worker, and he works for TAUNY full-time, and so he'll be paid by TAUNY to do this particular decorative archway. Additionally, funding from the Main Street grant through the Village of Canton will be utilized to help pay for material supplies and paint and other art materials for James to complete his work. Engineering design has been professionally done and stamped by Tisdale up the street. And so that was completed 2 days ago. And Aaron Jarvis and his team have generated a wonderful design, which is going to embed 2 steel columns, roughly 6 to 8 feet in the earth, the ground, which will be completed by Public Works in conjunction with economic development and TAUNY, who are the 3 partners on this project. So it will be structurally sound. It has been reviewed and designed by an engineer to mitigate any concerns about wind or other prospective, vandalism or other security issues that might unfold. The idea really is around bringing forth opportunities to drive tourism to the downtown Canton, to have people enjoy the public space that exists in Prentice Lane, which is now owned by the town, the village, and is now just a thoroughfare. which folks can walk through. So there's no issues when it comes to, as I understand, fire lane or the need for fire trucks to get through there as it is owned. And we've already talked to the fire chief about there not being any discrepancies or issues with the space and that potential concern. We've also spoken to the owners of properties and businesses close by. So it's great to have representatives of those organizations, Pear Tree, with Brad and Marilyn here today. And we thank them for their support of the project, in addition to I've spoken to Glow as well, owners of Glow, and they're very supportive of the project too. These types of projects have happened in many other municipalities and downtowns throughout the country. The idea is really around placemaking, which has seeds in an individual by the name of Richard Florida, who's an economist at the University of Toronto, who designed this idea of making public spaces into places where people can live, work, and thrive, and help to drive economic development and people to the downtowns where they start to develop expenditures for local businesses as a result of coming to see entertainment or to see a concert or a beautiful art show. And because this is sort of off the beaten path a bit and back and not really utilized, what a perfect place to put art and this decorative representation of Canton and North Country, and to bring people there. There's ideas from economic development to perhaps put some tables and chairs, maybe some benches, and to have artwork that could be pushed on the walls, to have concerts, to have gatherings where people are able to enjoy traditional art and other art forms as well. And so that's where the connection between economics comes in too. It's been great to work with partners, both cross-sector in terms of private businesses and municipalities, and that's when these projects work at their best. In addition to other planning that's happening around a cultural plan with the town, with the New York Forward grant that has just been received, and a lot of the downtown revitalization that's happening, and arts and culture should have a place, and hopefully you all see the compelling nature of really using this as a chance to celebrate who we are as a people and, you know, our identities as expressed through these art forms. So James has a series of works in the TAUNY Center right now. The bike rack is completed. We've been going through DOT and are doing the application for them. I met with Tim Nolan in terms of code to talk through the specs around the bike rack. And we're designing where to put it to make sure that it's off the beaten path, that it's not blocking any pedestrian traffic, and being able to use that as a chance for folks to bike in the downtown as well and make things more accessible to that mode of transportation too.
Very good. I've seen the one in Potsdam, the bike rack in Potsdam, and you said that DOT is interested in helping put that in. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because it's on Route, well, 68 and 11, both, and so they're on board with it. It's a question I have.
Well, I'm applying for a permit.
Yeah.
With them now.
Okay.
So, and they did an initial review and sent over some feedback, and we're gonna touch base about their initial review and make sure we're dotting i's, getting that application complete so that we get approval for DOT, because it is their, like, it's property or their purview.
Yeah.
To make sure that the bike rack is fulfilling any permits or requirements that they see fit.
And I understand it'll be taken down in the winter. The bike rack
Yeah, so
will-
it'll be seasonal, so we'll put it up in the beginning of spring, like right around this time. And then we'll take it and store it again, store it at TAUNY throughout the winter months in the late fall.
Brad was just talking about how snow removal in that area has been important in a different way, but the same concept here.
I'm often shoveling
Hmm.
pathway for the pedestrians to go from the public parking lot over to Main Street.
Yeah, yep, so this, having the bike rack out of the way for the winter is a good thing. It's in place for the summer, where it should be. The one in Potsdam is really kind of, oh, there it is, you know, I was driving by and whoosh, oh, yeah, that's kind of cute. But ours is a raccoon with a scarf, I think, riding on a bicycle, sitting on top of the bike rack. They need a scarf in Canton even in July. So, that's very nice, introduction, etc. Now, Brad, I know, and Marilyn have some comments that you'd like to add to the meeting, and I would love to hear those. I do have your email, but I'd like for you to present them, please.
Well, I questions since I'm their tree, and that's right. No matter that.
We together on the building, which is got a finished basement, which used to have a restaurant called the Partridge under the Partridge trees.
Yeah,
And we're working on bringing something else in there. And then we don't like to say this publicly, but we'll have to tell you this. If we sold our 4-bedroom house, 3-bedroom house, backed up to the football field at St. Lawrence on Maple Street, and we bought the building, we live over the top.
ah,
Our bedroom looks on Main Street and our family room looks on the public parking. Well, I don't like to advertise.
okay, we keep it quiet. But there's no window that looks over Prentice Lane, I don't think, is there? I've looked up on Prentice, I think it's solid walls on both sides.
No,
Don't you have a window?
we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 windows looking out on Prentice.
Oh, down that whole side, I guess I've only looked at the low level, because they were talking about putting paintings and things, artwork on the walls.
Well,
perhaps.
Wow,
So there's room for that, yeah.
we haven't discussed that with anybody yet, but,
Okay.
we've had experience with Music on Main, which was a program that had a grant, and we had men's, barbershop quartet singing groups. We've had very well-known guitar players, nationally known guitar players. We've had, we had a group of women who played trumpets and tubas. And what was that? What was the name of that group?
Broadband.
The broadband, yeah, there were a bunch of broad. And they
Their own
were,
name, I guess.
they played there a couple times, and they're very, very popular.
So we know that
But
it's,
the problem was that the entertainment was so close to Main Street that you couldn't hear anything because of all the trucks. So we're suggesting that we might wanna, turn it all around after we find out from the code enforcement officer, how many people can go in a certain area. And there may be sometimes when we have a nationally known entertainment group at the same time on the island, that could have a nationally known entertainment group. So planning and having a calendar, like a 6-month calendar or maybe annual calendar. But would be so we wouldn't conflict with each other.
Yeah.
But we're used to college students coming under there, especially on Thursday and Saturday nights when TikTok, we don't know what the future of TikTok is now that Rick is no longer with us, Rick and Sarah. So, Marilyn has a couple of questions about
okay,
things up and what happens if there's a problem with play.
Well, based on some experience from the past, we did have some problems. And so I wonder, are the chairs and tables or benches, will they be anchored down? Or will you get somebody removing them at night? Because then it's very easy to pick up a chair and
Mm.
throw it against the window, which is what happens.
It's happened in the past.
sure.
Um,
So this is a later stage in the development of this. I assume that we won't be seeing tables and chairs for a long time.
I do think I'd like to know this because. it's
Sure,
very
oh, yeah.
important.
Essentially, it's village property and the village owns the materials of people. And so it's village responsibility, village police would patrol, that sort of thing.
But instead of having a crowd standing,
Mhm.
that could be a problem. But maybe have some benches, at least during the spring, summer and fall, bolted to the surface of Prentice Lane. It couldn't be picked up by some large football player, across the window. I mean, because when that building there, oh, it used to be where, the plane dealer and Watertown Times have their offices. They had a couple of windows trashed.
Well, happens all
At
around.
2 o'clock in the morning.
That's yeah, sure. Well, the colleges are two-edged sword. Go ahead, Ellen.
Well, I'm just, so I'm wondering if the chairs and tables would be
So,
angled down.
If it would come to that, I would assume that they would do whatever it takes to make it as,
Someone doing anything.
right, but, for this site plan, that we're not that far off. The idea is that, future looking.
And
Now,
I'm
as you
wondering
say that.
if people are going out there with things, Coca-Cola or whatever. We don't have McDonald's in here, unfortunately, but, so who's responsible for cleaning?
Well, again, it's just like the park, or
Pardon me?
anywhere else. It's just like the park or anywhere else, it's village property, village, things, it's not like the private.
But it's also against 2 buildings of retail businesses and people living over it. Well, there are a lot more people living downtown over buildings than
Sure.
people realize.
Oh, yeah, it's just about full.
My wife won't let me go downstairs anymore, dressed in black. I mean, everybody think I'm a member of the detective squad, and I'll say, I'll whisper to the students, I'll say, there are women and children living over all these stores in this neighborhood. Oh, we didn't realize it was a neighborhood.
They learn.
And it isn't,
Yes.
not, the TikTok certainly wasn't the only place that.
No,
we're probably
we don't blame
operating.
it. No, place.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about the other places that are open late at night on Main Street, we got further. Well, there's several places that sell alcohol, but, and sometimes they have their problem, not often, but,
Well, all the buildings on Park Street have problems too. We've had the
yes,
the
and I
tree
heard
broken
that.
at the church, we've had
Library.
all kinds of stuff, yeah, sure, so it happens everywhere.
I don't
The
know.
question is, would this create more opportunity for that sort of thing? And I don't see that it does. There's no like food
No,
trucks
I
and
just think,
drink trucks and stuff going in.
I would like
Sure, oh, all this stuff is
to see
important,
it.
sure.
Obviously, I call the police.
Okay.
But, you know, sometimes they're.
They live right across the street.
Well, they're not always there.
Oh. Mm.
Depends on how.
Marilyn used to have a bicycle patrol and she was the man.
So,
Gosh,
and what did you say about the chairs and the?
Gosh.
So if it came to having, so right now, nobody has any tables or chairs to put in. If it comes to the point that somebody would put in tables and chairs, they're gonna be aware of the hazards of outdoor stuff. If you leave it all the time, if you're gonna set it up for the event and take it down, then that's just the nature of it. And so then there would be somebody in charge. So I doubt that they would be lax in their care of their own property. I mean, this is, whoever owns the chairs wouldn't necessarily be the village. So, and it's on the order of the benches in the park too, but that would be the same sort of thing. Benches in the park are fastened down.
I just wanted to be sure that. Well, where that.
Oh, sure.
That we had problems in the past. And,
Are you suggesting that people would bring their own, an entertainer? Who would bring their
No
own
idea,
tables and
but let's
chairs?
say that somebody wanted to sponsor a wine and cheese tasting and somebody's playing the hammered dulcimer or something like that. If you're gonna have tables and chairs, somebody's gonna bring them out, set them up, have the wine and cheese, listen to dulcimer, and then whoever owns those chairs and tables isn't gonna wanna leave them. They're gonna take them back inside wherever they were. And there's no plan that I know of for any permanent fixtures of tables and chairs at this point in this site plan.
So he's thinking about the possibility that the arch would be finished, what, July?
Yeah, early summer, we'll
And then, oh, I don't know when you're thinking about, we haven't discussed the timing for the start of entertainment events. Seems to me that benches, like you have football team sits on, maybe the field.
So
The
it
simple
may come
things
to
is
that.
a lot simpler than,
It may come to that, but that's not in the plan, the true plan for now. There's no benches planned to be fastened down at this point in the plan. No, it's fair. That's right. This is future thinking, green light thinking, to say, oh, look what this can develop into, but it hasn't developed at this point. It's just gonna get started. And believe me, for as simple as it seems, it's hard to get started. I mean, there's a roadblock everywhere, and we put them up ourselves. I have to admit sometimes. But for now, the simpler it is, the better, and then they wouldn't do things that aren't allowed here, for that, but they are certainly allowed to put up things temporarily to use in that.
40 years ago, we had an archway plan, Remington, Remington archway. And the Remington Trail. That didn't work out. I won't get into all the reasons for the signer. So what ended up out of that was the Remington Festival up in the Village Green. That's
How that happened, I see. Yep. We only have another.
No, I was just concerned about the removal of tables and chairs unless they were anchored down. Because I think that could be a serious problem. And it's not just the TikTok, there's bars all the way down Main Street here. And the kids come up through and bars close at 2 AM and sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they have.
I'm assuming that we want entertainment in the summer.
That they.
It happens,
Maybe
that's,
drank too much. And I
So-
think the women too, so. I just want everybody to be concerns that we have that building. The windows in the basement that right level without, tree runs up and see. And they've been well built on the time, so it's just, but we are supporting it. We think it's a great idea. And,
Good.
but I want
but you look through it, so you know what the pitfalls are, and now we are wise up to it.
Well, I think before too long, the village planning board, working with whomever in the village, the superintendent, could come up with a power block at one end or the other, depending on where the most of the entertainment will be placed. Because we don't plan to pay for the electricity. And secondly, we think there ought to be some sort of a camera to get the events and any problems.
Well,
It would help we can talk to the police department about that.
good, yeah. It's your private building, you put anything on you want. You can
No,
put a
I'm not.
camera on to watch it. If you wanted to,
I'm talking about being part of the project.
yeah, but,
Not-
which building, neither building belongs to the village, which one would you put it on?
Well, we would give them permission to put it, and then,
What they're interested in, I mean, a possibility, could suggest it, it wouldn't hinge necessarily by the project when it's not. Have a camera there, nice thing, no.
well, because now all of a sudden more activities are gonna be going on next to our home and our business and other businesses.
Great.
And hope, we're assuming that 98% of the activities will be going on during the daytime. What would you say about that too? I mean, we're excited about it. I think it's a great idea.
All these are concerns, absolutely.
I just think it's really important. Either the furniture gets removed at a certain time of night.
Ensure
store it
that,
Someplace, which is gonna be, would be a lot of extra work for the village crew when they're so busy. Anyway.
unless they're the ones who put it up, they wouldn't be the ones to take it down. The village group, whoever puts it up would take it down.
But you're assuming it's gonna be loose as
Yeah.
opposed to.
There's no plans to force them to fasten anything down. No
Well,
plans.
Let me ask Josh,
Mhm.
what do you think of the timing for figuring out the places where the spectators would sit? What do you think that should be worked on now, or do we wait till somebody brings it up?
Well, I want to focus on the archway first,
Right,
just because we've gone through many steps in the process to make it happen.
absolutely.
And the funding is secured. We're working on that final funding now. So we want to kind of capitalize and get the project completed in the time that we have the goal for it. I think once it's in place, then I'm certainly open to the space being a public space owned by the village is all of our space together. And I think, you know, understanding that the opportunities there should be balanced between ensuring that the integrity of the residents and the businesses in the downtown are absolutely maintained and to be cautious and secure in the events that we're having. And so I welcome from Tony's perspective, your and other prospective partners' opinions and having a hand in that planning as we move forward.
So we may not see or think about entertainment until, who knows, September.
Perhaps,
Yeah, it might be sometime, I mean, yeah.
perhaps. It all depends on how quickly it comes together and then, and of course, entertainers' schedules are often booked well in advance
How
too,
often, so how often do you meet as a planning board?
as needed,
Oh,
as needed.
okay, so your meetings are really special meetings.
That's right. These days, it used to be that there was something all the time. So we had some every month, it barely covered all. Now it's quieted down. So that's the way it is. Okay, so. Yep, I think there are more points in your letter before. See if I can find it. Because I want to be sure we don't forget something. You don't leave, say, oh, wait, I meant to say. And,
I have it right here.
I did too, but then you know how the computer hates me specifically. Yep, probably. Oh, yeah, it always gets from at the last minute here.
I have a question for
Mm.
Brad. You said something earlier about the noise from Main Street potentially being obstructive to entertainment, and you said could we consider turning the whole thing around? What, do you know what?
We're not talking about the arch.
Okay,
The arch will be where the arch will be.
okay,
for- But I'm talking about, when we had music on Main, we put a long cord into the pear tree and then put it up to the microphone. Even with the microphone and the PA system on, it was so noisy because we were so close to the edge of the sidewalk and so close to the street that the huge trucks, and this was during the day.
mhm,
What we mean by turning it around is that maybe the entertainment would be, their backs would be to the street, but halfway down Prentice Way. And the spectators would be down at the other end near the public parking. But that's the.
Yeah.
We'll find out what it's like
For
as we
sure.
live with it to see how it might go.
It's just that we've lived with the noise.
Yeah.
Lived with entertainment.
You actually have hit all your points that were on the letter.
Yeah,
there you go.
thank you.
Very good. Thank you too, because it's what we need. Human input from the experienced people. Yes. Any other comments that? Welcome to our new member here, a new attendee. We're talking about the archway for Prentice Lane. Is that what you're here for?
I'm
Just watching, huh? Okay, very good. We not having any input that you want to offer? No, okay. Okay. Would you have anything that you'd like to bring?
As a potential business in the Canton, it's great to see this kind of stuff, and, I'm really telling me what they do, and I'm sure they'll do a great job and be very respectful of all parties involved. I mean, my condition with those.
And he's here for the next project. But what we want is as much public comment. Would you like to make any public comment at this point? You're certainly invited, but the most important thing that the planning board can do is listen to everybody who wants to talk. And I want to be sure that everybody's had their opportunity to say anything that they would like to say. So, we have been through the actual site plan itself in the previous meeting, so, and it hasn't changed much, except we hadn't had the public meeting, and we hadn't had the stamped drawings yet that we do have now for the post. That was our worry, biggest worry was the engineering of the post, how strong can it be? We feel good about that now. So we actually are at a point to accept or reject the site plan as an official site plan review. that's been put forward. Now, with this size group, we have one movement, one motion, and one second.
I move to accept the site plan.
Second it, and I will vote because I can still vote as the one lone member who can vote, so it becomes a unanimous approval. I will say that, electrical, if we do install electric, there'll be a village electric system. The village will pay for a post, et cetera. You know how that goes. If we wanted electricity, that was here in the state. But yeah, I'm sure that they would do that. It's not very far to the charging stations. We have electricity underground all over the place there.
So I didn't quite hear what you said.
Oh, about the electricity, the village would have a power post of its own with a meter on it for itself.
There's none there now.
But like at the park, again, there's a post.
Oh, yeah, right.
With padlocks on the access.
Yeah, all the lights.
Sure, yep, that's right. Okay, well, very good then. That sounds like we are ready to go with that. Now, the other is the site plan for the bicycle rack, but that's not a true site plan review because it's not even a permanent fixture. Temporary fixture goes up for the biking season, comes back down. Other people would put up things like bike racks in other places without a permit. This, because it's right in the middle of everything, I would like for Tim to write a permit for it as well as that DOT permit.
Where does that go?
It's gonna go in front of TAUNY. It's toward the curb, so the bike's rear wheels go back toward the building, I think. No, we're not entirely sure yet. Yeah, the one in Potsdam is at right angles to the sidewalk, so it goes in this way, it goes that way. He is a Potsdam-based craftsman. Is that where he's from? Craftsman? Yeah, so that he's right in the heart of it, he's there. And it makes me feel comfortable. If it's not perfectly tough against the elements, I suspect he will be fix it. He's had good luck with all his projects. So. Okay, well, very good then. The next piece is about the bent beam brewing, micro brew pub. So, or it's not even micro, it's a brew pub.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I know he said I didn't really need a presentation, but just with the questions, I brought some stuff to make it.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you. Oh, I got it. No, maybe not. I thought there were multiple copies.
Hold it, a bigger picture.
Got it.
Well, this now we know where the roads here.
This will be
Pretty
fun to
good. Ow.
scan.
Yeah.
So the two issues that came back from the DBA after they approved both of our variances were the lighting and the drainage,
Thanks, Josh.
which was initially gone through with the previous site plan. So I just put this together so it just makes it a little more clear. First of all, the original plans do have a grading plan, which I did bring because you already have, and it's basically elevations and stuff. So I had Aaron put together this said they did engineer it, for the drainage swales on both sides to go and connect with the existing swales out back. I grabbed a couple pictures on the site, the 8x10s I've got here. See the beautiful back of our barn, which hopefully soon will look different. So you can see exactly what's there for a drain. And it actually goes all the way around, underneath AAA's, road and back around to the street. And that's what I denoted here with the red line. This is our property. These are our swales, or the swales between the existing properties. And this is where the drainage actually goes all the way down around and out. So that's all the existing that our drainage is going into now, and it will continue to go into with the developed lot.
And we know it works because it's been working.
Yeah, they're actually pretty impressive swales there, you can see from the picture.
Yeah.
To have those great, in the village lot, usually it'd be a lot subtler and, because really all the lots around it have been developed, in more recent times, they're in good shape. They maintain it very well. The other issue was the lighting, and this is all just per the lighting code. You see a whole bunch of numbers here. These are lumen amounts, on our site. It's kind of hard to see, but in the middle is our building here. If you find a big rectangle around here is our lot line. Code says, for commercial buildings with commercial neighbors, lumen can be no more than 0.3 at the property line. So you follow at the property line, it's all zeros, 1.1, 0.3s. Poles are designed, on a 3-foot concrete base, 17-foot pole for maximum 20-foot height, which is allowed by code. So that's pretty much all there is to that. It's designed within code, and so that this village, there's no light going where it should be. And we actually have 3 light posts out front, 1 out back, and then a couple wall mounted to light the drive up the side of the lot.
Oh, yeah.
And that covers our driveway light.
The average person can't. You have to-
It's done by quality lighting, our lighting supplier, not a therapy.
Yeah, I'm sure they are, yep.
And you can see, parking lot lighting, they say anywhere from 1 to 2 lumens, depending on light, the medium to high traffic. We're averaging, through here, 1.3 in the paved areas.
Mhm.
Average fill is 0.03, which is below code.
Falls off fast, doesn't it? Right?
Yeah, they're cut off picture designed for that. You see, the cheap picture, it's just bright and annoying. These are cut off, so you don't have that, the light still. And that's what you need in village areas and high traffic areas. So it would be done.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dark skies compliance, I think that's the other
Yeah,
term.
yeah.
I'm calling it, dark
Yeah.
skies. See.
Yeah, they're just a standard pole, standard, LED, pictures.
Very good. And in this picture, is this solar panel with wind anemometer and all that? Is that there now?
Those are on the Army Reserve. That's what they have for this.
Oh,
All the way around, yeah.
Gary, on the lighting
Yeah.
scheme here, there's this one funny anomalous number, 4.5.
That's right underneath, this is where the fixtures are, see the little numbers here, the MH20,
Okay.
MH20, so that's directly underneath each of the poles.
Okay. Oh, all right, so
But-
more.
Because it's directly under that light source.
Okay, cool.
Yep. They may have a different reflector because we have 2 here, and they're spreading this way, and we're able to do it with 1 here.
All right.
But the white one has the number behind it, so there's like no light coming out the back, it's all pushed forward,
Sure.
forward and out.
All right, thanks.
Would you code reference?
Oh, hey,
325 has 50. That gives you. There's some other stuff in there that talks about, where they have to shut off at night, but as long as you got the lumens underneath what we have, they don't need to be. Okay. And actually some of this stuff is. Like sort of 100-watt or less, or 60 watts or less, I mean, that's old incandescent stuff too. These are between 4. The wall ones are 2,000 lumens and the upper ones are 5,500 to 5,800 lumens. They don't go by watts, but you're working backwards, you're talking maybe a 30-watt LED fixture. Maximum park height is 20 feet. But it's adjacent to non-residential areas. So we used a 3-foot concrete base because somebody's always gonna try to run into it. And then a 17-foot pole, so you got 20 foot. And that helped us, we actually took 1 fixture out from our original plan that would help with costs and stuff. But we could still cover the proper rules with it. The illumination requirements, side and rear yard is measured at the property line that was non-residential, so not exceed 0.3, let's say 11.03. That's pretty much. Building lighting just says it can't be above the pitch roof, which is gonna be on the side wall, and it's got. All points necessary by proposal.
you have. Now, I'm still curious about your sewer line. Which way you decided to send it?
We just finished, we just had surveyors come out again, we're hoping to send it out back. I've got agreements with, our tax and numbers to pull across their lot. I met with Tim, superintendent, he met out on site with us and Aaron, so they needed those elevations to push back. It's gonna go back and across. Water is on this side of Commerce Lane, sewer is on the opposite side. And then the first manhole, we're gonna have to install a manhole ourselves and then go another 370 feet down the side of the road and another manhole. Right now, to get DOT permits to drill underneath the road can be over a year. Plus the added extra cost, you have to take 50 huge pits, there'd be two, one for water, one for sewer. They said those have to be separated by a minimum of 15 feet horizontally.
So that's 2 pits for
The
sure.
water will come this way at the upper end, and then the sewer will come down the other side, and we have to work with them as far as them coming across the parking lot, working with them with their customers during construction, and, but they've been very good to us so far, so we're writing up, that's how it'll be legal in the deeds as far as, the easement and stuff. That will be taken care of, so. We will actually save some money, but the big thing is saving time. New York State, give us permits and time to open
up, yeah.
5 or 6.
We want you now.
So we're working on that, so we've actually, got a demo permit. In the clerk's office, I'm gonna come over the end of the week to meet with it, I'll pick it up. So we can get, NPC on site. They figure they probably have a month of demo, while we finish clearing up the rest of it.
One for demo, boy, oh boy. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So those were the 2 items that the ZBA had said had to be addressed. It's the lighting and the drainage swale. Everything else is okay as it was presented in the original site plan review, which is the one that we approved. You say, entertain a motion. Okay, it's Jenny's turn this time, the other Jenny. And- Okay, any reluctance? I have no reluctance, I will vote also. No reluctance on this issue, I think that it's been so hard to be able to get you to get it so you can do it. I just feel
Many
frustrated.
different planes.
Yeah, we only are one of these problems, or maybe 2, but still, there's so many other things and
We're getting close.
I'm glad that
We're
you're-
kind of, we got our nose kind of ahead of everything. So I've got things moving. I've got things playing with the, the DC, so that they're ready to go as soon as the final pieces are in place. They've got some manpower available, and we've been blessed with a really good spring. They would have been in there in January, February with this weather. We could have been, but so we'll have a schedule on it, at least their time frame. Hopefully this Friday, beginning next week, and then we'll be able to slot that in once we know when it can go.
okay, very good. So I don't feel we're the total holdup for your job. We've been a holdup, but we're not the only ones. I don't want to do
It's been fun.
that. Okay, so that part is settled. All right, you have, Tim can write the building permits or whatever that's go along with this. So you have a 3rd issue. The 3rd issue is about a kind of lettering that is headed for one of these buildings. And if I understand it right, Tim's gonna tell us, the light comes from behind the letter. The letter is kind of solid and it's like backlit. So do you see the letter as if it's a shadow over the backlit light? Is that how do you describe it?
I only know what they sent to me via,
Yeah, okay, so, and you,
email.
and you sent me
I
that,
was hoping they would be here to talk about it,
yeah.
but in my mind, it's a backlit sign.
I think that's probably right. Get this is search, Tim,
Sorry, I am listening. Who is they?
yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry,
That's okay. Who's they?
who
Who are they?
it's Josie's is now been sold
Okay, yes,
to Palmer Realty.
yes.
Palmer Realty is putting up a new sign.
Oh,
The contractor is, it's called Sign Tech or something. And this individual, came forward with this type of sign. I hadn't really seen, so I thought I'd share it with Barry before I approved it, but I looked into the code, it appeared to be backlit. The actual sign itself will not be illuminated, is what they said. Apparently, there's, might be lights inside of it. that are-
Inside the plastic, so this is, 100%, if you can see it.
okay.
Yeah, and so, yeah, there's lighting inside, maybe, I don't know if it's just bulbs or one of those little tubular type.
Probably LED, small LED.
Yeah, but it's gonna shine from behind it, as if the letters are in relief, so to speak, sticking out, and the light's gonna shine from behind and give a halo over it. That's as good as shining your light right through it, so I agree that I shouldn't say,
It's not internal, well,
it's sort of internally lit.
internally, it has light bulbs, but the light bulbs are not, they're gonna be illuminated from the letters.
Mhm,
Does that make sense?
It does,
They're-
again, you can,
It's gonna be internally illuminated, but the light will only be on the back of the sign, not in front of the sign. Like, if you had a sign that was like the signs that we permit in the windows.
Mhm.
We permit those signs to a certain percentage. Those are internally illuminated. The neon sign.
Right.
But this sign is internally illuminated, but the illumination is going from behind the sign to the wall, not out. Not not the front of the sign, not the back.
Might take a look. because
Sure.
I'm interested, what I'm able to do with signs too. So
Yes, they call it halo, is the,
They call it
is the branding, so that would indicate that it's seeing a halo around the outside of it.
Yeah.
Now, this is hardcore historic district, deep in the district. And these are not deep in the district type letters. This is,
What do you mean?
I mean, this is ultra modern kind of approach to lettering. As opposed to what we want in the historic district should be, as they say, externally lit, signs. Placed on, now, in Palmer Realty, they sent beautiful, they had gorgeous, storefront. It's not the one. Well, but they didn't mark up the letter. They just wrote Palmer Realty in the sign band that's above the window. And a nice little piece over the, let's see, a nice little piece over the door. Now, there. There, okay, so this is what they're proposing for what Palmer Realty is gonna look like in Jersey's. Oh, which is a pretty nice looking store. That's the address is down on the bottom, and they're using the spot over here, but where it says Palmer Realty there, is where they want to put the halo letters. That would look like. But maybe not.
I don't have a problem with that, I think that this would probably look nicer than most of the signs do.
Oh, yes, but neon wouldn't be allowed at all.
Oh,
That wouldn't, and no sign that's like the whole sign written and then you light it from behind can be up there. So here's the question, are individual letters different from a whole sign with light coming through, reflecting on it? Now, they should be lit from, we should have these little lights that hang down at it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the storefronts that are adjacent to it. I think that's what they have chosen. The unlit sign generally pointing to the front. No halo lighting, no nothing. I think I would And considering it's the historic district, I would say in that vein.
That's right. You're outside the historic district.
Yes.
So that helps. That's different. That not means necessarily, I don't know what the sign code is out there. I have to always review it before I talk about a certain section.
I probably see the no internally lit signs were allowed.
Okay. So. In our opinion, this would not be good.
So maybe internally lit signs are only allowed in the commercial corridor.
Yeah, that could be.
So unless you're the Napa build, then.
Yeah. So,
Well,
but is it,
I don't think they're internally.
it's just the wrong. Yeah. We'll have to check that. I'll look and see. You should too, because,
I will.
yeah, now I want to know. I know it. So put that in the note. Yeah, good. Paul left too.
I couldn't hear, what were you saying?
But this is a no.
Okay.
No halo.
Now,
I would just like to say one more. Reality is that, I think it's imperative that the tables and chairs be supporting, so they can't be removed. Or somebody's gonna have to remove them, because there's just too much activity coming through there, and coming up from other bars and places down the street. And, I don't want them going through my window.
Yeah.
Have a couple of postcards, that's-
your point is very well
Some of them
made.
have to maintain a clean.
Yeah.
I've gone out there on many mornings. Picked up trash and leftover hamburger containers, leftover hamburger.
And that's even before the archway,
Yes.
right? So that's
Right,
even
so
without
I
any.
wanna- This is because, you know, a lot of the flavor, a lot of products, but appreciate that something. But I feel strongly about building that we really made every other. That's the piece.
That's right, yes. Very
Thank you.
That,
Thank you.
whenever you have a meeting.
Mhm. Thanks again. Is there any further business to come before the board here? And Tim, you got anything, any special thing you'd like to spring on us tonight?
No,
What
what was the, final vote on the?
on the halo lighting? Is that the one? 0. Right, voted against it unanimously, especially because it's in the historic district.
Okay.
If it comes up in another district, we'll have to have another, but we'll still, who knows what we'll do. But,
Even though backlight signs are allowed.
well, it's not really, I don't buy it as backlit, really. I buy it, we're supposed to
I
be
never-
backlit.
I never said those words to the applicant.
Yeah, backlit,
That was the only conversation between you and,
that's good, yeah,
so
that's nice too. Yeah, that's,
I'm just thinking like, what
what are you
my
gonna,
response will be if they do.
they go to ZBA?
Bring that. Or go to ZBA for use variance.
Could they give us a better mock-up of like what another similar sign that is already a long distance would look like, a picture
Maybe,
versus a mock-up?
that would be the suggestion to ZBA. If they say, oh, we really want it, and they take it to ZBA, which they can, then they would be wise to have a bigger mock-up so that ZBA could see. That's the beauty of this, is it used to be we had to refer our own stuff, now we refer to ZBA. They have a bigger committee. So, yeah, that's what we'll do, but your advice is very well. Okay, well, I don't even have more items to have another meeting. Just wait until future.
You have,
Come up with a new group hug or
Actually,
something.
before we
Yeah.
completely adjourn, has Complete Streets Task Force reached out
So,
about,
So they,
I guess I'll be right now.
not since yesterday's application.
Well,
But before that, was your report to me.
we are
You told me what they were done, but I haven't
So
heard
you're-
from like.
Yeah. Okay.
oh, interesting.
you guys met yesterday, right?
We did, yes, in our March meeting, we did sort of discuss this. And if you want to see that the Complete Streets Task Force was interested in seeing a site plan, so that we
Right.
kind of determined.
I did send in the site.
Oh,
So
you
I
did?
sent in the site plan, the same one that we had in our emails. before.
Okay. Yeah.
So, yes. that's-
Okay, that'll, yeah, we didn't get to it in yesterday's meeting. Oh, it seemed, but that was the
We'll wait till after the done design, we put there and not break the sidewalk.
Right, right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted to know how far it's gonna go.
and
Like, know how far to bring it up to where it's gonna be. with
Yeah,
the-
and then that would be a.
Right, right. Yeah, to.
Okay. That's good.
Minutes,
His eyes got real big.
2:22 minutes,
Oh, we have to approve minutes? We have minutes?
Yes.
Okay.
February 22nd.
That's-
They're the ones with the tawny, they're really long because they have the whole tawny presentation
Right.
attached.
Yeah, I might have to write.
I have an educational question for you after.
That would be a tricky one.
A question for my education.
Okay.
I guess it would. I might just have to write it in the front end. It comes after the stairs, yeah. You get something to add before.
I hear a lot. of these.
Or I could just, I could just, write it, like we said before.
41 West Main Street, letters. Here it is.
Because it gotta be there to meet, to get occupancy before the final stage. But then,
Oh, that must have been.
then you're gonna put it in that. Yeah, I just gotta be careful, right?
Fastest way to find it is on the canton.gov website, public records, village planning board.
I think the past. Well, I'll figure it. It's just because you're right there.
Canton.gov?
Canton.ny.gov.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, some people believe it. That's my fear. Is when it comes down to it, I gotta get.
Then go to government, public records. Oh, in the drop-down menu.
Get out.
Yeah,
it could be-
hover over it. There you go. Public records.
Ah, that's a new one to me. There we go.
And then scroll down to village planning board minutes.
I find any-
Because the whole square footage-
And then if you scroll down, they're in reverse chronological order, so you should see 2020. Yep, should be right at the top there.
Okay.
Wow, caught up to the beginning of this meeting finally.
There, like I said, it's a big file, so it'll take a second to load, but apparently more than a second.
Some people in New York City really escape and drop the ladders.
Whatever, working. But then when I gave
Hey,
it.
fire escape would be like something metal or I don't know. There'll be something metal there.
I have them actually already open on my computer if you just want to look at them.
Yeah,
Ooh.
there we are. Okay, here we go.
Oh, did it load? It's just the first two pages that you're really concerned with.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm good, yes.
All right.
You'll be comfortable doing a lot of different things up there. Yeah, I can see, like, you have music or,
So,
backwards and things like that. Yeah, we just not.
nobody wrote to me that this time, last time. you were right.
Yes, and I did fix that.
Yeah.
You're approved.
So Jenny, Kara,
This is the new Robert's rules. We call it
He made it.
Bob's.
Feel like I got too much power.
Absolute power corrupts absolute. I guess we're. corrupted.
All three of us.
So that's the only one we're in arrears for. Last time we had to like.
we did 4 of them, or 5 of them last time. Yep, favor. So then you just, unless there's something you want to discuss, a motion to adjourn.
6:30, good. Oh, man, oh, man.
Waiting for, I can't give them the whole contract until.
And it is 6:33.
Right.
Bring it out just like- But you can have, I have.
It's so confusing.
Stacked up in back room. I don't know what to do. I'll fire someday.